You're right, Anya. In this one, I'm going to show you how I made this minimalist desk. It's perfect for my work from home setup. I've been needing a new computer desk for a long time now, and I recently upgraded to the new MacBook Pro. Now, one of the benefits of this is that I can plug in one cable, get power, control my monitor and my accessories, so that's really pushed me down the minimalist route, hence why I've made this minimalist desk. So let's get cracking with the project, and like most things in life, it's best to start from the top and work your way down. And I fell on a right bargain for the top to this desk. This is actually a piece of solid old kitchen worktop. Now, with a full 3 metre piece, if I was buying brand new, would have been around £300 to £400 depending where you're getting it from. It's a bit out of my budget, so I started looking on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and I managed to drop on a bargain. I found a full 3 metre length piece by 60 centimetres wide by 38mm thick, a nice chunky top for £90. I don't think you can go wrong for that. So I ended up picking it up, and I've only used a metre of it. Now, I cut it to length really rough with a handsaw, so the first thing I did was clean it up and make it square using my track saw. Now, as you may have seen in a previous video on my channel, this did end up actually cupping on me, so I needed to spend a long time flattening it. If you want to check that out, if you haven't seen it already, I'll leave a link to it in the description, but we'll skip that for this video. I did do some testing with some different colours and coatings as well, so if that's of interest, make sure you check the description. But imagine all that's been done, it's nice and flat again now, and I decided to cut some bevels. I think it gives a nice sleek look. I left the back square because it's against the wall, but I added a 47-degree bevel to the front 3 edges. Now, why 47 degrees? Well, that's how far my track saw can tilt. I was really pleased with how the bevel turned out. I got a little bit of burning from my blade. I either need a new blade or it needs cleaning, one of the two, but either way, it needed sanding. So I gave it a good thorough sanding all over, and I sanded it up to 240 grit. I just want to quickly jump in here and let you know that the trend tools that you see in this video were very kindly gifted to me. It's not a sponsored video at all, but I will leave them linked in the description down below, and those will be affiliate links. So if you end up buying anything through those links, I'll get a small kickback to help me with the channel. Right, so it's been sanded up to 240 grit, it's nice and smooth, it's time to pick a finish. Now, as I mentioned, I did do some tests with some different colours and tones. There wasn't really sitting right for what I had in mind. I wanted a much darker colour, as you can see. So I ended up using the chocolate colour from Rubio Monocoat. And once again, this was very kindly gifted to me from Rubio Monocoat. Not sponsored, linked in the description, you know the drill. I was really pleased with how this turned out. I don't think I applied it how you should be applying it with a nice cotton rag. I literally used a sponge that's designed for washing cars, but it seemed to do the job. It's what I had lying around. Smeared it all over, let it sit for a little bit, wiped off the excess, and then left it to dry overnight. I could then come back in the morning and give it a nice buff, and it's a really lovely finish. That's all that it needs, and the top was good to go. I could turn my attention to the legs next. Now, you may have seen another video on my channel testing out what to do with the legs. I originally wanted to weld my own legs. I'd done some practicing a while ago. It didn't exactly go to plan, so I was hoping for better luck this time. Well, I didn't have much more luck with this one. I'd left the steel outside. It was wrapped up, but it went really rusty, and it went a lot more rusty than I expected. So I tried sanding it back, and I did have a practice welding. You probably saw in that video. Video's linked down below. And I decided in the end to cut my losses and buy a pair of legs. Now, these legs cost me £50, which actually worked out cheaper than the steel in the long run. So at the end of the day, I'm well chuffed with them, and they do the job. Now, as you can see, they've only got a clear finish on them, and I wanted matte black. So I just gave them 2 coats of matte black spray paint, and I sanded in between with 240 grit sandpaper. When that was done, I needed to drill the holes out a little bit bigger, and I also needed to countersink them so I could add some machine screws. I had quite some difficulty, I don't mind telling you, with trying to get these countersinks to work. I'd got some cheap branded ones already, didn't work. I brought one set from Amazon, they just skated on the surface. I brought a second set from Amazon, same impact. So I ended up biting the bullet and pulling a bit more money out, and I got a Makita set, and they worked a lot better. I'm not happy with how much I spent, but at least I've got them now. So that's the holes countersunk in the legs, but how am I going to attach machine screws to a wooden tabletop? Well, I'm going to use some threaded inserts. To fix the threaded inserts into place, I first marked where all the holes fell. I could then drill 12mm holes to accept the inserts, and I could then drive the inserts into place with the included Allen key. These are a really solid fixing, and I think it's a much better look than just screwing regular screws in. It's a lot of elbow grease, but it was worth it in the end. Now that all those are in place, I can add the legs back into place and get them secured with the machine screws. But I can't use just any machine screws, can I? I obviously had to spray them and make the heads magenta. I'm really pleased with the contrast on these. I know they're out of sight, but I really didn't want it to be too much of magenta in your face. At least it's there as a nice touch. On the odd occasion that I do clean under my desk, I don't do it that often, granted, but when I do, there's a hit of colour there, and I think it's just a nice touch. I'm glad I've done it at the end of the day. That's the desk done. I'm really pleased with this. As I say, it's a minimalist setup. I don't need any space for a computer tower. I don't need to hide lots and lots of wires. So for now, this is what I need, and I've got it all set up here now, as you can see. I'm using my monitor on a monitor arm, so underneath is completely clear. At the moment, I'm just sitting my laptop there, but my next project is actually going to be a shelf that will go underneath, and I think that'll look a lot nicer, and it'll give me some extra storage as well. I will be making in the future a stand for my laptop, and I'm going to make it wall mountable so I can put it on the wall to my right hand side. I'm really pleased with how the desk has turned out. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would, granted, but I had quite a few stumbling blocks, as you will have seen in my practice videos, but I got there in the end, and it's done, and I can make use of it now. As I've mentioned, I've got lots of little projects planned for the desktop in particular. I'm going to have the stand for the laptop that will get wall mounted as well. I've got an idea for a headphone stand, but I'm also going to be making that shelf for underneath, and that's going to be the next project. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you get subscribed, click the subscribe button, click the little bell icon next to it. That way you'll get a notification as soon as I upload a new video. If you like the video, go ahead, click that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. I always really appreciate your feedback, and I'll catch you on the next one.